Good evening and welcome to Point Blank here at KTN News, shooting from the Nairobi Serena. The late Steve Biko said that the most potent weapon of an oppressor is an oppressed mind.
Stephen Biko, a South African who campaigned against the apartheid system, once said, "The most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed." Biko, who was killed in 1977 by South African security officers, advocated through the Black Consciousness movement for Africans to rid themselves of the racial inferiority complex. A crucial approach, Biko continuously stated, was through the adoption of universal education for all. On 27 April 1994, the African National Congress, led by Nelson Mandela, claimed victory in the first free election with 62% the vote. A year later, 18 years after the 30-year-old Biko's untimely death, South Africans ushered in a new constitution, signaling a final end to the evil apartheid system that had been in place since 1948.
In 2013, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta signed a memorandum of understanding with ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi. In the MOU, Mudavadi was to be the president after compromise was made and signed at Kenyatta and Mudavadi meeting at Riverside Drive, Musalia Mudavadi's home. One man from central Kenya, Governor William Kabogo, said no. That next day in the morning, he was at Kenyatta's home at Caledonia and led the MPs of Central Kenya then in defying the MOU. Will Kabogo stand again against what's going on in the country?
William Kabogo is the first governor of Kiambu County, having served from 2013 until 2017. The 58-year-old previously served as the Member of Parliament of Juja constituency between 2002 and 2013. In the period leading up to the April 2013 general elections, with coalitions and partnerships formed, broken and repackaged, Kabogo, a close ally of Deputy Prime Minister and leader of the TNA party, Uhuru Kenyatta, led an intervention that spectacularly altered the nation's political landscape. Together with a select band of Uhuru's associates, they convinced the DPM to discard the MOU he had signed with Musalia Mudavadi, which effectively ruled him out of the 2013 presidential race and, as planned, soldier on for the presidency. They were successful. Despite pioneering and innovative developments during his time in charge of Kiambu, Kabogo, in fiercely contested Jubilee primaries, spectacularly lost out to the then Kabete Member of Parliament Ferdinand Waititu, also known as Babayao.
I now urge all those who supported me in my campaign and who voted for me to join me in not only congratulating the governor-elect, but also offering him our goodwill and support. It is also my sincere hope that we shall all find ways to bridge our differences and heal the divisions of campaign through which we have just passed. It was arguably one of the most heated gubernatorial races this season, and a lot of emphasis was placed on personalities. As the new team takes over the helm, I wish them well in their endeavors.
After conceding defeat and handing over to his successor, Kabogo, while pledging support to Waititu, reminded his former constituents that one day they would call back for him. Less than 3 years later, corruption and abuse of office charges have been leveled against Kabogo's successor, culminating in his arrest. On 24 August of 2019, Kabogo surprised mourners at the John D. Matthew funeral service in Gatanga, Murang'a County, with a pointed remark to Deputy President Dr. William Ruto.
Fanya uchaguzi juzi, hata miaka miwili haijaisha. Tutulize kidogo maneno ya siasa ya miaka ya 2022. Ili tuweze kupata maendeleo, manufaa iende kwa wananchi wenyewe. Na wale jamaa ambao wanaweza tuliza hii ni wawili. Wale wanaweza tuliza ball, kuwe calm, vile Demevio alikuwa anapenda, ni wawili. Na mmoja tuko naye hapa.
leading to the second in command's response.
Huyu Mheshimiwa Kabogo, unajua ni rafiki yangu. Na Kabogo kwa sababu ni rafiki yangu na ni rafiki yako, saa zingine ni mchokozi. Saa zingine ni mchokozi. Kwa sababu sasa amekuja kunistaki kwako ati mimi uwanga nafanya siasa. Sasa bwana Kabogo, Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nataka nikuambie hiyo maneno Kabogo amesema si ukweli. Kama kuna wenye wanafanya siasa ni wengine, sio mimi.
Rafiki yangu William Kabogo.
Jambo.
Mudu wa nyumba, mudu wa Thika, mudu wa Kiambu, Ruiru.
Yes.
Actually, your father is Ruiru. I'm Thika.
Yes, Roiro. He's
Yes.
still there.
Which area?
Just
Was
you know
that?
where Roiro High School is.
Yes.
As you go towards Thika.
Right.
On the left, just at the bridge, at the where the road crosses the rail, on the left. That's where I'm born.
Okay.
Born and bred.
Karibu sana.
15 minutes from Nairobi.
Karibu sana. Welcome to Point Blank.
Asante.
You faced off with Kenyatta before, when he has made decisions.
Yes.
He said Mudavadi ukakata.
Well, we said no because that was not the position of the party, TNA then. It was a side negotiation. I believe President Kenyatta was put under immense pressure by interested parties or groups. And I thought myself, being a friend, I needed to speak to him to understand why he took that position. And so I called a couple of guys. We were not many, about 4 of us. We went to his house. We stayed out there for a very long time. Finally, we managed to get to see him. And we spent there probably another 14 or 15 hours talking to him. I remember also Mheshimiwa Ruto came in, and I was very upset with him because they had given out Kenyatta's candidacy, but retained his as a deputy president. So my question was, if it was about Hague, they were both facing Hague. If it was about any other matter, they should have given up both of them. That was my position. And thank God it worked.
So for Kenyans to understand.
I told Kenyatta people will slaughter him. You know, Kikuyus will slaughter him.
Yes.
The people of the mountain,
Yes.
he didn't have a chat with any of them.
Yes.
He had just decided that because of probably pressure that he had been, probably somebody had exerted pressure.
I want to dig a bit deeper into that you feel that sometimes Kenyatta does give in to pressure. Was that
No,
your
it's probably his love and his fear of being, you know, people may think he's the one who has caused a certain problem, because probably he thought, you know, they were telling him, no, not a Kikuyu again, you have a case, why don't you just let somebody else?
So Governor,
that kind of pressure.
To give Kenyans background,
Yes.
this was the time of the ICC. This was the
just before the ICC.
That was a big factor.
2012, towards the end of 2012.
So there was a fear about the ICC factor.
Of course, yes.
You know, I'm asking this.
But you know, there are people who just try to make stories and put pressure unnecessarily. There are those that thought probably another Kenyatta would be unfair to the nation. And there are those who thought they needed to retain power amongst themselves. Because there are people who are putting pressure who are in government.
So let me say this. Could it be true to say that the ICC brought Kenyatta and Ruto together?
That is
that fair
that's a
comment?
fact, yes. That's a fact. And probably...
in hindsight, was that a mistake?
And probably the only fact that made them actually come through. The pressure of ICC was huge. And you remember we went through the whole country with prayers. I was the whip then for that wing. And for that reason, we were able to traverse the whole country telling people, you know, these things are there, these are cases that are against our people. These are the two communities that fought and came together. They will never fight again. And that pressure, we kept the pressure running until elections.
And then the elections came. Do you think, Kabogo, to be fair, were these wounds ever healed? Do they remain? Are they just covered up, or did they heal the wounds?
Partly healed, partly not healed. Because there are things that happened then during the skirmishes of the after elections, the post-election violence. There are people who lost their properties. We have people who moved from Rift Valley. They're back in Kiambu, back in other places, and they've never gotten back their properties. So how do you heal if your property is still in Rift Valley and it's not your property anymore?
Now, as we look at the current day,
yes,
there has been a lot of push and pull between wings that seem to be divided in Jubilee or within government. So that at one point, people speak who support the president different from the people who support the deputy president. I mean, many cases.
You know, from their speaking, they say there's no difference. But you can see the tension. You can see you guys in the fourth estate. There is always a story about Tanga Tanga. There's always a story about Kieleweke. There's always a story now about the handshake. The country is still divided. The only thing that is different is that the man who is able to speak and control huge crowds is Raila Odinga, and he's in the handshake. So really for me, I still think we should not be politicking now. We should be serving the nation. I also think that the handshake was necessary to cool political temperatures in the Republic.
But I think, Kabogo, this is point blank. At Peter Kenneth's mother's funeral, you were the MC.
Yes.
And you cautioned the deputy president. I mean, you are more direct than you have been here.
I was not direct in terms of, I'm always direct, Tony. I always speak my mind. And I said, the only two people, it was not Peter Kenneth's burial, Mom's burial, it was Dematthew. And what I said is, and I hope that Tinga had come to that funeral, I said there are two people who are causing high temperature of politics in Kenya at this point in time. And I said, one is Tinga, he's not here. Without naming names, the other one is sitting here. And you, Bwana Deputy President, we like you. You're our Deputy President. But it is those two guys. If you want to cool the temperatures of politics in Kenya today, it is just takes the two of you. And I still think so.
Yes.
Because when you find them in funerals and those places that they go over weekends, you will find hatutaki hizi vitu za Muganga, then the other side, mambo ya mwizi. You know, these things about mwizi and Muganga, they are not helping Kenya.
Well, let's talk real
politics. They are not helping Kenya.
No, let's talk real politics.
Yes.
Let's give you an example about the dam.
Yes.
This dam, the Kenyatta has cancelled the dam.
Yes.
The deputy president has been on air saying hii kitu hakuna pesa imeibiwa.
He said 7 billion.
Yes.
Yes.
And everything can be accounted for.
He said 7 billion is in question.
Yeah.
And there is a bank guarantee to safeguard loss of revenue or loss of government money. But the issue is it right to say it's only 7 billion?
And that is why I'm asking you, Governor.
And that's why I say
if Uhuru contradicts,
allow investigation to happen. I'm happy that the Minister of Finance stepped aside. I'm also happy that I hear there are investigations. But you will see contradictions in both wings of government. Just the other day, what's his name? Murkomen. He said the president has been misled. And he still sits in Senate as a leader of government business.
Because you talk point blank, what you are central are confused. You yourself cannot be confused. Decipher. It is clear they are not reading from the same script.
It is clear, yes.
So what does that augur?
But the issue
what does that mean for the president and the deputy?
What is the mandate of government today, Tony? The mandate of government is to serve the people. And my point here, and I've said this before, I don't speak politics in funerals, but that day I said, we need to stop politicking. We need to take the country to the next level. There's a saying that says, Jeshi, see happy. Jeshi tigenu. You know what I'm saying?
I know. So
the youth are not happy.
But in your background, every MP is campaigning every weekend. In Kiambu, Muranga.
And my question is, I've always asked, why would the MP for Kiharu be campaigning in Nakuru? Why would the MP for Madeira be campaigning somewhere in eastern Kenya, Ukambani for that matter? Why are we doing politics now? That's my question.
Well,
and yesterday I said one more yesterday. I said, if the deputy president fails, the president has failed. If the president fails, the deputy president has failed. And if they do not succeed in the next 3 years, we're going to take them home, both of them.
Now, Professor Kawanja was here and he said, Tony, let's call a spade a spade. He said the money that these MPs from your region are
Yes.
being given every weekend, and he alleged
Yes.
by the deputy president, is what cannot keep them at home. That the reason the MPs are not in Kiambu or Keharo doing their work is because they are getting a paycheck. Do you concur? Do you disagree?
You know, I've been to Parliament, and I know a little bit how things work there. There could be a little bit of truth there. It is possible, because how does an MP remove 50,000 shillings in every Harambee, and they do 6 or 7 Harambees in a month? He cannot afford from his salary. Some of these people have never been employed. So it is true, there is a source of money somewhere.
Now, coming
But I cannot say for sure it is so-and-so who has given the money. But some of these things are obvious.
But they are there in the 2022 bid. You know, Kabogo hili point blank.
Ni point blank, ndio.
Sasa kama mtu,
Let me
if they
tell you,
are
Tony,
saying
in
that their
point blank,
candidate...
Tony,
Yes.
in point blank,
Yes.
it would be unfair for me
Yes.
to say it is definitely so-and-so.
No, but I'm
I will not say it's definitely so-and-so. But if you see the songs that they sing, and you have a brain like I do,
Yes.
then you would imagine that money would be from him.
They are talking about 2022.
Yes.
And they have declared a president. And I
Correct.
don't know if there is an election. Is there an election, William?
There will be one, because we did fix the dates of elections in the Katiba. It will happen on the second Tuesday of August, every 5th year. That falls within
Let's
2022.
shift gears. Me,
Yes.
niliona picture yako na Baba Capitol Hill.
Yes.
What was the agenda?
You know, after the handshake,
Yes.
political temperature came down almost to 0. I know Baba. I have worked with Raila quite some time. I wanted to understand more what is it that this handshake was all about, and we had a chat. And believe you me, if we were to think really about the future of this nation, it is not rocket science to understand that every 5 years we have had problems with elections. If truly their plan is to make sure that we never have, political games resulting into war during elections every 5 years, anyone in the Republic would want that.
And therefore, is Kabogo a supporter of the handshake, BBI? What is your view?
I am a supporter of unifying the Republic. And that is what they say the handshake is all about. If truly that is what it is, Tony, I am inside there. But what I am against is people sitting in a boardroom and deciding, no, this is what we want to do. We want to create so many seats. What is Wanjiku saying? What is the problem with the constitution that we have? If one is to change the law such that MPs will never be able to decide what their pay will be, nitakuwa hapo. If it is to add the cake, the national cake distribution to the communities in the villages, I will be there.
For example, William,
Yes.
one of the issues is that people want ministers in parliament. They want maybe more accountability, more transparency. Those things are not anti-people.
You remember
are they anti-people?
We had ministers in parliament who were MPs. That is the 11th parliament and the 10th parliament where I was. And you remember that we could ask questions to a minister who is an MP. And then things were moving. Right now we have technocrats who really do not seem to understand political pressure, the pressure that MPs get. So that's one thing that we could be talking about.
I know it's a major issue
Yes.
that has been presented
Correct.
to the BBI.
Yes.
Do you think like that could really change?
That could change, yes.
The flavor
Yes.
of cabinet,
that could change.
access to
I agree.
ministers
I agree.
and so on.
So the issue is, Tony, the Kenyan masses out there do not really understand the 9 points of BBI. What they are giving us food for those that are against is the fact that it is shrouded in doubt of creating seats for people.
Yes.
You will find them saying, no, we don't want to create a seat for Uhuru Kenyatta. we do not want to create a seat for Baba.
So we don't confuse our people.
Yes.
Let's leave the negative. What is the positive you would like
The
to
positive is to unify a country so that we never have war against,
Each
after
other.
every other 5 years.
see? You like a
We
parliamentary...
have a unified nation,
You would
a nation
more.
that will grow because it has no political wars.
Right, and more
Yes.
parliamentary accountability. by
Correct,
cabinet. What
yes.
about devolution? More money? Or what do you think?
Tony, 70% of the most important functions are devolved.
Right.
Health, agriculture, water. Why would then the country's national budget have 15% going to the village? It's being penny wise and pound foolish.
Right.
We need more money to the counties. I'm not saying that create more thieves. I'm saying make sure that the governors are accountable, make sure that devolution works. If you ask me about Kiambu, Tony, before devolution, we had no hospitals at all. They were there in the name of hospitals, but they were not functional. 3 years down the line after 2013, we had fully functional hospitals, build 26 new hospitals, build 4 new level 4 hospitals, build 1 level 6 hospital in Thika, and there was medicine throughout. We are screening people for HIV, we are screening people for diabetes, blood pressure, killer diseases that were going unnoticed.
Yes.
So anyone who would want to wish that devolution is not good,
So
you must not be, you cannot be a Kenyan
And
think that it
why
is
I'm
not.
pushing you on BBI, Governor,
Yes.
is because of those reasons.
Yes.
That people need to look at the positive, that there may be need for changes
Yes.
in the current law for the betterment of the Wanjiko. It is not that everything coming is for people.
Yes.
The so-called dynastic
So
divisions.
my issue here, Tony, is simple. BBI, good idea. But when will the discussion happen? We need for the discussion to become a national discussion so that the issues that you and I are talking about here, Wanjiko also participates and says, my MP anajiongezea mshahara. How will we stop that?
So
we need more money for medicine.
So your message to Kenyatta and Odinga, because the report is not
Yes.
yet a referendum bill.
Correct.
So when it comes out for review, your view is more...
You remember when I went to radio some time back, I said, make these hearings public. Even the report that you want to write, do not write a report that will direct the nation to a particular way that a few people decided in a boardroom. Open up debate. We know we are Kenyans. We know where our problems
So
are.
William Kabogo wants the BBI debate to be more public?
Yes, to be
in
more
the next
public.
few weeks when the
Yes.
debate is
Not
up.
only that,
Yes.
if I was to speak to what's his name, Okot, the Punguza Muzigo guy, I would have asked him, withdraw your bill. Let's wait for this other BBI issue. Let's put our heads together and let's come up with one unified proposal to amend our constitution for the betterment of our nation.
Now that you raise the issue of Punguza Mzigo, William, it has been rejected in most of Central Province, in Murang'a, in Nyeri. What will Kiambu do next week? I hear it's before the assembly next week.
I hear many things.
What have you heard?
know. I hear there is money changing hands. I hear there are people being paid to pass and others are being paid not to. I do not know. These are allegations.
So what would be your advice to the
My
MCAs
advice
of
is simple. They should know that this bill cannot be amended. If you pass it, even 1 comma, you cannot add or deduct. Scrutinize the bill and see, is this how you would want your country to be 10 years from now? And then use your brains and decide where you want to go. You will be counted one day for what it is that you do.
So William Kabogo, point blank, you're against Punguza Mzigo.
I'm not against, I'm against.
You can't be for
Let me
it.
tell you,
Yeah,
Tony, I just said here before, if I were this guy who has fronted this bill, I would withdraw it. I would wait for what is happening in BBI, and we would put our heads together as a country.
Yes.
Because there are things that are good in Punguza Mzigo.
Yes.
There are things that are ridiculous in Punguza Mzigo.
It cannot be changed.
It cannot be changed. So it will not go anywhere. I would not support it if it cannot be changed.
It cannot be changed. That's
Yes.
the law. It's a referendum.
So
bill.
isn't it wise, even in Parliament, when you knew that you were not going to pass a bill because you don't have numbers, The wise thing would have been to withdraw.
Mheshimiwa, my brother, you're not a watermelon. Everyone knows what
Yes.
I'm saying. You know the referendum bill cannot be changed.
Yes.
Punguza mzigo as
It
it
cannot
exists
be
now.
changed as it is.
So as it is now,
Yes.
does Kabogo support it or not?
No, I don't.
Okay, sawa sawa. Let me ask you.
But you know, Tony,
Yes.
a yes or no answer is not what is important in
Sorry?
these things. The argument that we are against Punguza Mzigo because it comes from Okot, that is not
No,
the
no,
issue.
no, I didn't say that.
That's not, no, you know, that's what is portrayed
Yes.
by many people.
Yes.
If he was to withdraw it, I support some of the things that are in there, but it cannot go through.
Ili Mkenya wa kawaida aelewe,
Yeah.
ile sheria imeandikwa haiwezi kabadilishwa.
Haiwezi
Ile ameandikwa.
badilishwa. Hiyo ndio shida yetu.
Na kuna shida kwa ile sheria vile imeundwa.
Correct.
Na kwa sababu
Hata
ya hiyo
kama huwezi weka.
huwezi weka.
Yes.
So wewe
Kwa
William
hivyo
Kabogo
ianguke, waende walete pamoja na
ili
BBI.
watu wakiambiwa wajue
We
kinaga
discuss it.
ubaga.
Correct.
Okay, Kabogo anasema nini?
Yes.
Usiende namna hiyo
Mimi sina
waseme
wasiwasi.
ati Kabogo ni amekuwa watermelon.
Unajua wanasema Waingereza,
Ndio.
you can't eat your cake and have it.
Correct.
So we know it cannot work because it cannot be amended.
Yes.
If you want to change it, you pass it, then you go and change it. You will require another process, the same process.
Yes.
So let it fall now, come back to us,
Yes.
talk to us within BBI also,
Yes.
because we don't know what proposals they have.
Right.
At the end of the day, mimi nasema kama Kabogo, mkitaka kubadilisha,
Yeah.
leteni tuzungumze kinaga ubaga kama wananchi wa Kenya.
Ndio.
Ile kitu italetea wananchi manufaa.
Ndio.
Hiyo mimi nitashika mkono.
Na ndio mnataka kuchangia katika BBI.
Kabisa.
Mazungumzo ya BBI,
Yes.
mbele ya BBI pia ikuwe sheria. Watu wachangie, wanataka kuongeza nini?
Unajua building bridges initiative.
Ndio.
Hata ukitaja namna hiyo mwananchi wa kawaida hajui hiyo ni kusema.
Haya, mwambie sasa nasikia ni point blank.
Mimi vile ninavyoelewa.
Ndio.
Ni kuwa Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, Mheshimiwa Raila walishikana ili waweze kuhakikisha hatutaweza pigana vita tena dhidi ya mambo ya elections,
na ukabila,
uchaguzi
na
ukabila. Lakini sio kabila mbili peke yake Kenya. Kenya kuna kabila mingi. Na ndipo nikasema hata huyu Mheshimiwa Ruto kwa nini hakuingia?
Kwa nini anapinga?
Kwa nini sahihi haingii? Na wengine kwa nini hawaingii? Kwa nini Okot haingizi pale? Tukazungumza kama taifa.
Ndio. Tuunde maneno alafu uchaguzi utakuja
baadaye.
Well,
lakini shida yetu ni kupanga. Kila tukipanga mambo ya katiba tunapanga uchaguzi. We should not be panga in katiba tupanga uchaguzi.
So hii mambo ya 2022 wewe pia unakosoa?
Mimi nasema ni makosa sahihi. Tumefanya uchaguzi juzi. We just did elections, Tony, the other day. Yes. You know, I was governor until 17.
Yes.
I'm out now for 2 years.
Tunakuja hiyo section nyingine.
Almost 2 years. Vile ninavyosema.
Yes, 2022.
Kwa nini tunazungumza 2022? Na ndipo pale ulisema in the beginning when we started,
yes,
that I told Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga and Mheshimiwa Ruto,
yes,
you are the only two guys who can cool political temperature.
Well, this is Point Blank here at KTN News. William Kabogo says there is no election. It's not 2022. Na watu wa Kiambu msisupport punguza mizigo. You're watching KTN News.